Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the first day of the year. Happy New Year. Happy Love Ambassador Meetup. Welcome to Hug Nation. I am John Halcyon-Stin, and I am excited to start this year with you, this day with you. What a perfect opportunity to establish some elevated baselines for ourselves. Who is the person that we want to be today? How do we want to greet the obstacles, the questions, the opportunities of this day? What is our default going to be? Who are we? Who am I as I go into this year, into this day? We'll get into all of that, plus lots of gratitude after our morning song. Oh, it's 2025. Yes, we made it, still alive. It's 2025. Let's get together and together thrive. 2025. We made it. Yes, we're still alive. 2025. Good morning. Welcome to this day. I am thrilled, excited, honored to be starting the year off with you. Welcome, Juan. Welcome, Tony. Although Tony's comment is, what the? Or there's not a question mark, so it could be, what the? So I'm going to assume that you're going to share some gratitude. This is an opportunity to share some gratitude. What are you grateful for today? I am grateful that I had a very low-key New Year's, one of the most low-key I've ever had, and it's exactly what I wanted. I celebrated with my beloved Lisa. She came back in town last night. I picked her up from the airport, parked so that I was at the luggage place when she came down the escalator, and then I made a dinner, pretty fancy. It included multiple pans. And then cuddled and talked and cuddled. And then Lisa gave me a massage. And then we went to bed early. Every once in a while waking up to the sound of fireworks. But it's exactly what I wanted. This was my second year of sober New Year's. Yesterday I celebrated my first full year of New Year's to New Year's. Is that right? Yeah, first New Year's to New Year's of my sobriety. No ketamine, GHB, and alcohol. And I celebrated my first full year together with Lisa. Good morning. Happy New Year, Faith. Happy New Year, Painey. 2025. And 2025 is great lyrically because it rhymes with thrive. And I mean, thrive is like the go-to word for New Year's. But I'm really glad that I had Lisa home so that I could be with her, because I think if I was home alone, trying to have a mellow, non-party New Year's, I did at times during the day yesterday, like a little bit of a FOMO blip, like, wait, you need to do something big for New Year's. And to me, do something big usually meant get pretty intoxicated. Sometimes at a big party, sometimes at an intimate gathering, but almost always lit up and take an opportunity to enjoy and explore the chemical opportunities that a human body can have. And so being really clear that I did not want to I didn't want an alternate for that. I didn't want to try to what can I do that's within my rules that, would be a similar, I didn't want to do anything that was similar. So the idea of just having a celebration of my relationship and my home, and a celebration of all of the subtle day-to-day life aspects of my life that I'm so grateful for the last year, especially coming into this new year. So what are the things that I am grateful for, the momentum coming into 2025? What were those things? So much of it is my partnership with Lisa, this house, I gave a lot of thought to my health and how important enjoying 2025 and thriving in 2025, staying aliving, is going to be my health. So I actually this morning I threw away some cookies. Last night I ate some cookies, so I was still in the kind of momentum that I've had during the holidays. But I threw away some cookies this morning, went for a longer walk with Lisa, ending with like 100 yards of jogging. So feeling this is exactly the kind of transition to a new year that works for me. I generally am not a resolution person, but I do like New Year's as like a lap marker. Like, wait, how are things going? Are the things that need to be worked on? And so Lisa and I have been talking a lot about things into the new year. Anybody else have any gratitude, or do you have a New Year's word? Maybe I'll think of one during this broadcast. I do not have one currently, but if you've got a word for the new year, or an intention for the new year, or a resolution for the new year, or just taking this opportunity to start the year with some baseline gratitude, I think that's a good idea. Like, I am so grateful for my parents. I'm grateful that they're in my life. I got to see them yesterday. I visited and got to laugh with them, and I got to help them figure out how to put YouTube on their big TV screen so that they're gathering. They could have the Chicago New Year's celebration on their TV while they had their friends over last night. So grateful. Do not want to take for granted my parents are still around and doing well, and such a beautiful part of my life. I'm grateful for my brother and Jen and my nephews, and that they're a beautiful part of my life. I got to see Carter and Jen and Lisa and Jimmy yesterday. Grateful that I am, while my body needs some work, and I did some physical therapy this morning, that I'm dedicated to increasing and healing. I'm so grateful that I am not experiencing the nerve pain of a year ago at this time. So like, I am now starting this year with just like so much appreciation for nothing needs to happen. You know, the relationships in my life, the state of my body, the view out my window, the home I'm living in, like everything is awesome. There's issues, there's problems, there's things I got to figure out, but I'm so grateful for my list of challenges. Good morning, Michael. Happy New Year. Good morning. And good morning, Anastasia. Happy New Year to you. Anybody want to share a resolution, a word for the year, or something that they're just appreciating today? Let's see. Good morning, Ricky. Ricky says, I'm grateful for my sobriety and health and living near my family. Me too. My New Year's words are resilience, joy, and sanctuary. Ooh. To helping and supporting each other this year and beyond. Hear, hear. Resilience. There's a song that Lisa's choir sang in their last performance. Should I even try it? It's about resilience and working together. I'm not gonna try to sing it. Hey Lisa, will you come sing for me? Resilience is a great word. Joy and sanctuary as well. Michael says, my wife and I spent all night dumping serotonin to EDM. Grateful that we still got it. Awesome. I have many a New Year's where that was my way of celebrating, and no regrets. Lisa asked me if I remembered any good New Year's Eve memories, and the thing that pops in my mind, I remember on 1999 to 2000, that New Year's Eve, it was the Y2K war, like, is everything going to shut down at midnight? And I threw an Czechoslovakia party, which was a series of events that I threw where everybody does the serotonin depleting chemical at the same time. So you get a ticket, and then at one point, we're boarding rows 1 through 6, and everybody takes their medicine, their chemicals at the same time, and then we go on this journey together. And the rooms have different like themes and labels, and there's something about the vibe that night with like, I didn't think society was going to collapse with Y2K, but there was that just like, who knows, what's going to happen. And I remember being naked at midnight with 2 beautiful women. And that is not what I wanted last night, but it is a wonderful thing to have in my memories. Anyone else want to share something, gratitude? Or a resolution or a word? Let's see, I don't want to commit to a word, but let me think of some words or words that might be strong to me. Something about action and commitment. Like I need to commit to doing some things. One of the things I was reflecting on last night was the last quarter of the year, I had a few ideas that popped up and I got excited about. There was a writing project. There was the Hug Monster puppet thing, and a couple other things. And I none of them have I truly committed to. And the same with, I realized that I've not truly committed to eating healthy and acting healthy. And without those real commitments, I have not been moving forward in the ways that would be helpful to me. So I need to commit, which I know like there's a difference. Like I'm committed to not having alcohol. And so it's not even on the table. There's no question. But I'm not committed to not having sweets. So it's easy for me to, like, I don't want to. I want to reduce it. But there's a difference between like, I want to do that better versus I'm committed. So I need to, maybe commitment is my word for the year. Whew, that actually is scary for me even to say. Juan says, good times are here now. Preserving, says Anastasia. I like that. Good morning, Chris. Chris says, grateful that fireworks were minimal in my neighborhood last night, so it's not upset my cat too much. Whew. We didn't have any close by, but I heard them like starting at 9 through past midnight, and it made me really think about people, how hard it would be to have a dog that is, or a cat, or a human that is traumatized by those loud noises. That would suck. So I'm glad that you made it through. Oh, perseverance is your word, not preserving. Oh, that's interesting. What's the difference between those? But perseverance. I think of resilience and perseverance kind of in the same categories. Good words. I think those are going to be helpful for many of us this year. I want to just throw out an idea, something that I have not done yet, but I try to do at the beginning of the years. I think we did it at last year's Love Ambassador meetup, where rather than do a list of resolutions for the New Year's or goals, you think about a year from now. Think about, we're gathering here on January 1, 2026. We're looking back over the last year, and then you talk about the last year as if it has already happened. And it's got to be something that's believable. Like you wouldn't say, I visited the moon last year. And but you might say, I'll just play. I'll just a little improv and try to get in the headspace. Okay. So I really got dedicated to my health and really dialed in some of the foods that were giving me trouble with my skin. My eczema has been in remission almost the entire year. I've cut down on my sugar, so I'm eating no processed sugar or almost no processed sugar, and I really feel better in my body, my back. I've been working with a trainer, and that was tough for me to pay the money to work for a trailer. And I've been doing some Pilates, and my core is so strong, my back is feeling so good. And I I've been continuing to do Hug Monster videos, and I've got a little bit of following going. It's actually monetized even, so I'm actually getting not a lot, but a little bit of money through the Hug Monster channel. And I have a first draft of my book of Hug Nation wisdom, and actually have I think close to a final draft for my book about like my memoirs of my adult years, adult business years, not adult years. I still am not an adult. So yeah, it's been a super productive year. Lisa and I are doing incredibly. We've been just so enjoying our home. We've been having dinner parties here, which has been great. Some dinner parties, a lot of like brunches. We've been inviting people over for brunch. It's been really incredible. And spending a lot of time with my parents this year, which has been just so beautiful and treasured. And I did go to Burning Man this year, not for the full week, just for a little bit, just dropped in. But I got really into the burner prep and talking about Burning Man community. I really still enjoying the talking and teaching about the principles. And I had a brief visit to Black Rock City this year. 2025 was a beautiful year. So grateful for, and I continued doing Love Mornings for the entire year, which continues to be such a beautiful part of my recalibration. Ta-da! There, that's my looking back over 2025. Good morning, Mingo! I love you too. Happy New Year. And good morning, Gerbat. Happy New Year. Anybody want to share a resolution, their word for the year, or something that they are feeling grateful for? Or if you want to do a talk about your life in past tense, talk about this past year from a year from now and look back, you can type it in. Or if anybody really wants to do it, but you want to talk about it, I'd be willing when we're done here to go into Zoom for a little bit and just kind of play if anybody wants to do that. Gerbot, I'm grateful you made it here too. Ricky says, I love the look back exercise, affirmations in the present. Exactly, that's exactly what it is. And I find that it helps me to feel the achievement of it, which is so important in Abraham Hicks stuff of you got to feel the vibration with the goal. I don't necessarily have that same experience when I do resolutions, I don't have that. It often is tinted with a little bit of guilt, whereas this exercise, I can feel like I let myself feel the zhuzh of it. Okay, that's good. I did that. I should say that there are two people that I learned that from. One, Jacob Glass, who used to do it. He called it the lunch game. And then there was Krelego, which is, I'm drawing a blank on the comedian / philosopher that I learned that from. Recalibration is a great word. Amen. To me, this morning practice is a daily recalibration, because I actually had a great conversation about this a couple days ago with a friend. They were talking about there's somebody who often speaks the truth and tells people here's what you can do better. And they were looking back of their life, and in high school, they said a lot of people remembered hearing negative things from this person, and they had a story of why other people remember the negative stuff. And I was like, well, we're wired, our brains are wired to focus on negative stuff. It's a survival mechanism. You don't live longer because you remember how wonderful the fire was last night as you cuddled. You do survive if you focus on those loud noises that came from the woods that maybe we need to be, tonight we need to make sure we have more people on guard. And so the brain is wired to take negativity, criticism, worry. These are the things that we what is the most worrisome, troublesome, annoyed thing physically and in our minds. And that's what we want to focus on because it's a survival mechanism. So to counteract that biological functioning of our brain, you have to recalibrate. You have to recalibrate the things that are wonderful in your life and bring them into awareness instead of taking them for granted. You have to recalibrate the things in your life that have been dropped below threshold, and make sure that you can enjoy them. Because they're still happening, all the incredible things. It's just that your physiology, your biology is pushing you to take them out of awareness. And that's a surefire way to be poor, because all you can think about is what you don't have. The quickest way to be rich is to recalibrate so you're aware of what you do have. So many wealthy people are unhappy because of their inability, or they're not dedicating themselves to recalibration. Now, that panic about not enoughness is one of the things that drives them to levels of success that seem, impressive. But if you ever admire or envy someone's position of that type of success, know that what comes with it is a physiological not enoughness. So you can't just trade positions with someone who has a lot. If you have to also trade into the mindset that gets you that, which is quite often not enoughness. So you want to get that balance of like, everything is awesome, and what would be fun to add without attachment? That's the tricky one. And what a beautiful time to be practicing and thinking about that than the first day of the year. Sure, it's an arbitrary lap marker in our lives, but it is a beautiful opportunity to say, okay, all right, what do I have in my life right now that is incredible that I am not aware of on a day-to-day basis? And this daily practice of morning gratitude is the best way I know to make you richer, by bringing all the stuff that you take for granted above baseline into your awareness. And then from that place of gratitude and joy, you can choose and take actions that might bring more things into your world. But that is a way different experience of being on that journey of joyful satisfaction with the possibility of more, is way different than worry-filled, stress-filled not enoughness to get more. Make sure you bring that into your New Year's goals if you can. Mingle says, badass is my word for last year and being a bigger badass this year. You rock that in such a badass way. Oops. Gerbot says, I'm grateful to be getting back to an incomplete project from a couple years ago. Nice. That was, I mentioned, one of my goals for today especially is to try to look at some of the projects that I got excited about recently and think about, what do I want to commit to? What are some things that I want to put goals and deadlines on the calendar? Like, I needed to put the Radical Hope Weekend on the calendar and commit to it before I could start really making it happen. And I need to do more of that. It's really good for me. Like I've got a men's group in March that I'm co-leading with a mentor. So that's another thing that I need to start. That's committed. So now I need to get behind that. But there's other things like some writing projects and some other things. And it's all for me tied into a great big evaluation of my whole like creative sharing experience. I'm finding that, especially in the last few months, that my ability to get the things that I produce, the content I produce, in front of people, whether that's through Facebook or Instagram or whatever, are not so good. And so I have to think like, why am I making this stuff? And there's a lot of stuff that I'm not even posting because it's like, it just feels like I go, maybe I'll try to post it on a day when more people are looking, and I forget about it. My brain is quick to forget. Anyone else want to share a little bit of gratitude or a word for the year, or something that is part of your day-to-day, everyday life that you, on the beginning of this year, want to go, you know what, I want to make sure I don't take for granted. I don't want to take for granted this practice and how much it means to me that people join. So I know Gerbot and Mingle are often here, and Juan is often here, and some people are popping every once in a while, but that this process of showing up and being in community for the morning and having a little accountability incentive to get a little gratitude to start the day. I'm so grateful for this practice and grateful for you for your contribution and participation. Thank you, 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 thank you. Gerbot says, I'll be down for a Zoom after. All right, so let's see, it's 9:27 for me. So in 3 minutes, we're gonna go to, let me make sure this link works and you can test it too. I think zoom.hugnation.com should take us to a Zoom. Did it work? Did it work? Oh, it takes us to, it'll be now.hugnation.com, but there's a link there. Join the live Zoom. Does that go? Yes, okay. Oops, I'm gonna wait, don't go yet. Okay, so now.hugnation.com will pop us right into a Zoom. If anybody wants to come in and just do a few minutes of we're gonna gather in the future, January 1, 2026, and we're gonna talk about what happened in 2025. Let's see, I am unable to post, but I will spell it out again. The word now, NOW dot Hugnation, HUGNATION.com. And that, if you pop that into a browser, it'll redirect you to a Zoom. And if anybody is able to type that into either the YouTube or the Facebook chat room, I don't think that goes into Facebook for me. But I'm using this tool right now and it won't let me type into it, but now.hugnation.com. And we'll close here with a hug, and I will go and check my Facebook messages really quick. So if you can't get here, send me a quick message and go, what was the link? But it's now.hugnation.com. Yes. That's it, Chris. Thanks. Don't put www, just put now.hugnation.com. Why is that not letting me? Oh, I know why it's not letting me. If I go, see you soon. If I make that work now, it won't let me click on the link. Okay, I'm just gonna trust. So, but if you say, I'll check my Facebook messages really quickly if you can't make it. If you can't figure out that link, and I'll just double check and reply with the link. But thank you so much for helping start this day. 2025, we made it. Yes, we're still alive. 2025, together we will truly thrive. 2025, wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big old squeeze. Appreciating our body, appreciating the healing that is happening, appreciating this ability to connect, appreciating all the things that sometimes we take for granted, appreciating our ability to recalibrate our baseline and to so quickly change our experience from lack to abundance. Appreciating, being thankful for the people in our lives, and being grateful for all the people who are going through these wild human experiences, knowing that we're all so much more alike than we are different. So let's try to have forgiveness for others as they stumble, get off track, and forgiveness for ourselves, knowing that everyone is doing the best they can with what they got in the moment. And that best is a moving target. So let's appreciate the opportunity to try and to try and to try again as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us, thanks for being here for this first of the year love morning. I love you. So grateful for you. Happy beginning of the year. Let me try something. If I do this, does it let me? Oh, it does let me show my own. Okay, so that would work. I can do that in the future, I guess. Great. You are welcome, Ricky. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Gerbot. Thank you, Darren. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm going to head over to now.hugnation.com. If anyone has any trouble, let me know. Yeah, we made it. Okay. I'm going to close this. Say goodbye over here.